Oh, freak out. Yeah, lay chic, say freak. Hi, everybody. It's Dan Soder, and I'm on the road always and never stopping. This November, I got a badass show that I'm very excited about with few tickets left. Town Hall for New York Comedy Festival, November 8th at 9:45 p.m. Town Hall. Go get tickets right now. There's a few remaining. Let's fill it up. I'm very excited for that show. And then the next night, we're doing Toronto, Ontario, Canada. 2 shows at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre. First show, completely sold out. Second show, lots of tickets available. Go to the Late Show. If you don't have your tickets yet, go check out the Late Show. It is November 9th at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre. The 7:30 is sold out. The 9:30 is very on sale. Tampa, Florida. I hope you're okay after the hurricane. We're coming down there in November. November 14th through the 16th. I will be at Side Splitters Comedy Club in Tampa. I hope you're all right. And if everything's okay, come on out and we'll have a laugh. dansoder.com. That's where you find me. I'm trying new catchphrases. Does this work? That's where you'll find me. I think that sucks.
Dads hate it when anything other than pool happens on the pool table.
Oh, yeah. No drinks. No, don't sit on it.
We were using my friend's pool table as a green screen, like laying down and shooting from up here so we could project.
Actually fucking smart.
Yeah, we were like making cool videos when we were little, and he's like, saw the videos, like, what's going on? How'd you shoot that? How'd you shoot that?
Do you know George Lucas?
And also, why does it look like you're laying down and you're supposed to be standing?
Oh, my. But that actually is brilliant.
Yeah.
To go like, oh, the felt works as a green screen.
Yeah.
But, dude, you put a drink on a pool table around a dad?
No.
I wonder if how many kids have gotten beat because of pool tables? Like, how many?
It's definitely.
What's the pipeline?
It's like if you have a shitty pool table, it's like owning a gun. Like you're more likely to be in some sort of incident.
Yeah.
Like
it will. If you have a pool table, there will be an incident.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed. It's just likely.
Yeah, they're like, I keep the cues locked in the other room. I don't fucking.
Also, if you have a pool table and it's the night and you have a family that shouldn't have a pool table.
Yeah.
You know, you got one of those families. It's like, whoa, you guys got a pool table?
We did a real thing where when my mom got the pool table at the flea market, we like set it up and then kind of did like a half-ass run at having like a pool room, which meant like we got like a cheap Budweiser lamp to hang over it, which was sick.
Yeah.
And then we bought pool cues and like my stepdad was very handy, so he put it on the wall. But then within less than a year, no one was.
No, of course not. I have the craziest pool table story ever. It happened in Austin, Texas. Like my friend's bachelor party. We were like 28 or something.
Okay.
And I have a rule. Like I was like, I'll go to your wedding or your bachelor party. I'm not doing both. Like,
really?
I was like, pick one. Which one would you rather have me at? Because it's all my friends are in Iowa, so I'm like, I gotta go to Iowa twice. Like I can't do that.
Yeah.
But we went to Austin, and we were like 28 or something. And we got wasted and we're like like first bachelor party or something, you know what I mean? And they're like, we gotta get cocaine. I was like, okay, I know how to
follow me.
I'll figure this out.
Yeah.
And we went to this bar in Austin. I know where it is. I don't remember the name of it. And I'm like asking just straight up blindly, like, do you guys know where cocaine is? And this one guy goes, if you beat me in a game of pool, I'll tell you where cocaine is. And I was like, all right, game on.
Let me tell you something about drugs. Finding drugs is so fun.
It's so
that just
fun.
made it 1,000 times more fun.
So now I'm excited. I'm going to play this guy in pool. And then if I win, he's going to tell us where drugs are. And if I lose, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, then we're done hanging out, even though we just had fun playing pool.
He lays it down after he beats you. He goes, I'm a police officer.
No, what happened was he racks these balls. He's real cocky, like clack, 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 clack. And he goes, I'll break. And I'm like, okay, man, I'm just letting him take the wheel. He goes to break. I fucking swear that this happened. He hits underneath the ball, shoots it up, and it shatters the light above the fucking pool table.
So I've
at
done
a bar.
Technically, I believe we might have to look this up. In the rules of billiards, scratching on a break is a loss.
Where you shoot it into the lights and they shatter. And
that's a scratch.
He literally said, I'll go get it. I'm sorry. his bravado came down so quick. He's
so
like,
funny.
he's like, I fricked up. That was crazy. Yeah.
Going from that cocky to apologetic.
Yeah.
Cocky to apologetic's hilarious.
Yeah. He was
Being
like, no, I goofed up. That was crazy. Yeah. I'm not good at pool.
What, you want to beat me? I'm Austin Chubbs.
Right.
And then he like loses. He goes, fuck. Did he help you get cocaine?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, but it was
good
like
cocaine.
No, I don't think there is such a thing. But have you ever done good cocaine? I don't want to make this up.
I've only smoked blood. I've only smoked coke once, and it wasn't even like a thing.
I did cocaine one time when I was in San Francisco, and my friend was like, "This is like medical grade or whatever." And I was like, "Okay." And then I realized I'd never done cocaine before.
Oh, is that good?
I was like, "No, this is what it's supposed to be." I've been doing cat urine or something.
Yeah. I've been fucking snorting just baking powder.
Exactly.
Baking soda. My mom, one time, my parents met in San Francisco and were there for a while. And when I was younger, my mom goes, one time your dad and I did cocaine that was so good, he wanted to go out dancing. And your father never wanted to dance. And I was like, so that's how good I think the coke in San Francisco is.
Yeah.
Apparently they've got just some great shit where you're like, we're going out.
Yeah.
We're going to the fucking discotheque.
Anyway, I didn't mean to immediately dive this into a coke podcast.
That's fine. There are simply no rules on this thing.
Okay.
But I think it's interesting that the guy wanted to play pool with someone so bad that he held off.
I'm pretty sure he was just coked up pretty big and was like, I just want to shoot some pool, man.
No one wants to talk to me. I'm too yacked out of my mind. Just please. He was so coked up, he shot it into the thing.
Yeah.
He was like, ah!
He's like, I goofed up.
I fucked. That is, by the way, that is a coke change of emotion. Mm-hmm. To go from being like best ever to being like, it's all broken. It's all broken and everyone fucking hates me.
Yeah, and I broke it.
I suck. Yeah, I would get that like when I was drunk and I would fuck up, you know, and then you'd be like, everyone fucking hates me. But I feel like that's everyone with the internet now. I feel like the internet's so easy to go on and just find some shit about you that goes like, it's like the reading equivalent of breaking the light.
Wait.
You can go on Twitter.
Oh, yes.
Or anything,
I see what you're saying.
Facebook. Yeah. I'm not talking about like people that are in the spotlight either. I'm talking about just people in general. Everyone is catching smoke online.
The worst. But like drinking and like goofing up like that, like I haven't drank like 6 months, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Which is good.
How you feeling?
Like really good. The best part is you wake, like when I was drinking, you wake up and you're like, who's mad at me? You know what I mean? Like that's like, what did I say that's annoying?
Yeah.
So like waking up and being like, if anyone's mad at me, it's not anything that's just what's happened, you know?
Did you wait for the hangover the first couple weeks?
Oh, it was just, wait, what do you mean wait
when
for the
you
hangover?
wake up? You wake up when you don't drink and you go like,
no, I would
like I would wait to feel hungover. I would like wake up and be like, oh, I didn't drink. I'm fine.
Yeah, well, I had trouble sleeping for like 3 weeks. I was like just like insomnia.
But then
you sleep the best.
You sleep the sleep of kings.
Yes. And then you wake up and you're like
refreshed.
Let's rock. Like I haven't sat down in my shower in a long time. You know what I mean? I was like, that's how you shower.
What was your go-to hungover shower method?
Oh, you just sit in there, listen to some podcasts and be like, hey, babe.
Yeah. Water. My friend Mike, I lived with my friend Mike and Chad in Arizona, and we all had our own bathrooms. They were like those new apartment complexes. Mm-hmm. So the tubs, we were like the first person to live there. So we'd take baths.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because no one lived there before you.
Love a bath.
Well, actually, then I learned about the shower, the bath shower.
I have a joke about a shower bath.
Dude,
it's a shower that lasts till a bath happens.
Dude,
yeah.
That's exactly what Mike would do.
Yes.
He taught me how to do it. It is the greatest hangover cure of all time.
Really?
Is to start with a comfortable amount of water in the bathtub with it plugged.
Yep.
And it's warm, obviously. You want the warm base.
Yeah.
You lay down, so maybe your balls are just barely floating. And then you lay with the slope part of the tub. And then you just aim the shower at your head. And then you just lay there and the shower hits you and the water fills. And then you do what you do. Turn it off and then you're in a bath.
I lived for shower baths growing up. We get 2 G.I. Joes in there. Guess what? The flood's coming and they're fighting. They're fighting over legs.
Doug, you don't want to get into that because we were talking about pools.
Yeah.
You know how many forts you can build on a pool with the pockets if mom doesn't know you're fucking up the felt?
Yeah.
You think the guys weren't on the fucking pool table? I would find anything I could. I remember, like, I think this is the way sex addicts. I'm always so lucky that I'm not a sex addict.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everything to them is like sex, where they're like, I'd fuck right there. I could fuck right there. But
that's how it was with drinking. I'm like, great place to drink. That place rocks to drink. Oh, a beautiful waterfall. But this would be so fun to drink here.
That was me when I was little with action figures.
Okay.
I go, ooh, what a great place for a final fight. You go, ooh, I can get that. Because we weren't poor, but we didn't have a lot of money. So I didn't have a lot of like, some kids grew up with like the G.I. Joe battle carrier.
The battle carrier was out of the question. Like I remember I got a Fort Legarado one time for Christmas. Sick. And then that turned into the battle. That was for G.I. Joes too.
But even like the He-Man Castle, Grayskull, or like when you went over to a kid's house that has that, you're like, damn, you're living life.
Right.
You got a good life. The rest of us have to turn the stairs into a fort.
We had a ping pong table. You throw some blankets over the ping pong table.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I was thinking that, so that's how I always thought as a kid, where I was like, that'd be a good fort. You know what? That'd be a good bad guy fort.
Absolutely. That's really, it is, the addicts just like,
I wonder if that was an addiction. I'm starting to wonder if like my action figures or action figures to little kids is the starter pack for like alcoholism.
I think about it, about like me and my friends would go in the woods when we were like 13. And
because you grew up in Iowa.
And we would drink, like, we'd see how many Red Bulls we could drink just to see what happened. And I'm like, every one of us turned into an alcoholic. That is a surefire sign that you have an addiction
It's so funny
problem.
you say that, because my friend that I would do that with, Mike McDaniel, we would go drink Jolt Colas.
Right.
Jolt Cola was, they said on the bottle, it was a dangerous amount of caffeine.
Right.
So for kids, you're like, yes, because it's not a substance, it's fucking Coke.
Right.
It's a soda. McDaniel and I would go get like high-powered Jolt Colas, pound them, and then go up to Albertsons and turn off the doors so people would walk into them. Or we play kickball in the aisle.
That's very fun.
Wild boys. Both of us have drinking problems.
Right. Well,
both of us are now reformed alcoholics.
I like his new look. I mean, because when I'm a Dolphins fan, like they're my favorite team, and like in the comedy world, you kind of find out who the other Dolphins fans are.
Roy Wood
Jr.,
Jim Florentine.
Yeah. But like you randomly start tweeting about the Dolphins. Like,
well, now I care.
No, I didn't. But I was like, Soder, Dolphin. They were on like a solid run. And I was like, dude, what's up? And then that's how you're like, that's my buddy's team, dude. I was like, Jesus, what?
Yeah.
This guy rocks. His new look is sick. He looks cool.
He's always looked cool.
Yeah.
He's always, when we became friends, the first thing I remember about Mike McDaniel was he had the Ken Griffey Juniors.
Ooh.
He showed up from Greeley, Colorado. He moved down to Aurora, and he had the fucking Ken Griffey Juniors. And I got introduced to him through Jason Poyle, our friend, and I was like, who's this kid with the cool sneaks? Always had style. That's always the most stylish.
He's in the right place. Also, do not envy his current position.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough watching your friend. During the football season, he doesn't, even after the football, he's hard to get a hold of.
Well, dude,
he's like one of those guys that you have to contact his wife or people around him. And I was talking to his wife because I'm going down there for the Raider game.
Okay.
And she was like, he doesn't respond, but he reads his texts. He's just so busy.
Yeah.
So text him. So I've been sending him like, buddy, I know this is a diarrhea storm.
But like, dude, as a fan of the Dolphins, like I'm like, I don't even know how I feel about Tua coming back. I'm not coaching them.
I always want to help my friends, even when I'm severely underqualified to do so.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, trying to put together, because now I'm invested in the Miami Dolphins.
Yes, they're the best.
So I care about the old school throwbacks.
Yeah. Oh, the old
Dolphin with the helmet. It's the only gear I wear.
Right.
I mean, this one is cool, like that Dolphin popping through.
It's fine. No, I want the Dan Marino jersey.
You want the cartoon Dolphin with the helmet on.
Yeah.
It's similar to like how I feel about, even though I'm a 49ers fan, how I feel about the Denver Broncos, where they wear the D with the horse coming through.
Love it.
You're like, I like a logo a little more cartoonish.
Also, talk about dumb, like not poor, but not rich little kid brain. For picture day, from first grade through fourth grade, every photo for picture day, I'm wearing a Dan Marino jersey because it was the most expensive piece of clothing I had.
That was your tuxedo.
Yeah, I was like, better dress up. This is my best shirt.
You're leaving, you go, hey, Mom, you notice how the 3 on the back is getting peeled off because we've washed it so much?
No, there was no undershirt, just a big,
dude.
so much chest sticking out. Because you buy it big, you're going to grow
into it. I could swim in my Steve Young jersey that I wore until I was in high school.
Dude, I ruined my Dan Marino jersey. I was so worried to tell my parents what I did when I was on the swing set, right? And I was doing the jump, see how far you can jump. It got caught in one of those S hooks. So when I went to jump off of the swing, it ripped it off of me.
That's kind of cool though.
But not in a good way. It wasn't like I busted through. It pulled me back, but it still ripped.
I thought you busted through and you're like, I'm the king of the monkey bars.
It body slammed me. I don't have a shirt on. I'm a little knocked out. I'm like, my fucking Dan Marino jersey. So I stapled it back together and just put it back with my clothes.
Your mom's like, what
my mom literally was like, what happened?
Oh my God, dude, getting a jersey. Now they're so easy to get on Fanatics and stuff, but getting a jersey when you were a little kid was did you go to the team and ask for this? You didn't understand. You were like, I remember I got the classic 49er with the 3 red, white stripes, red and white Steve Young jersey. Mm-hmm. I still remember unwrapping it and being like, it's the greatest day of my life.
Dude.
I wore that Steve Young jersey. I have so many pictures with the 8 falling off. It's just gone. You could tell there was an 8 there, and it's just me being like. And then I got a reversible Jerry Rice.
Whoa!
Get out of here.
That's fun, dude. My dad one time we lived next to the Field of Dreams.
Oh yeah,
which is a tourist.
You really did live that close to it?
20 minutes. I built houses there. It's in Dyersville. I was from Manchester, 20 minutes apart.
Yeah.
It's where we would go to Dyersville to buy beer because we were less of a chance to run into someone's parent there.
Oh, I thought one of the ghosts from the field worked there and they don't ID. Ghosts don't ID.
Ghosts don't ID. Ghosts are cool. Ghosts are cool.
If you ever go to a liquor store and a ghost working there,
they're not going to ID you. They're chill.
They're in the ether world.
Yeah, they're chill. They're very chill. But there would be crazy Hall of Fame games there sometimes because everyone's obsessed with this stupid goddamn baseball field that I hate. The Field of Dreams is just propaganda for Iowa. It's fucking trash. There's a sign that everybody has on their cars in Iowa. It's like, is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. That's from the Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it sucks here. This is making you feel okay to live in Iowa. This is a fucking shitty movie about space traveling ghosts. Yeah. It's dumb as fuck. It's barely even about baseball. This guy's a fucking idiot.
I love the heat you have for this.
No, and it's also stupid. It's all those cars are coming in. I'm like, where are they going to park in fucking Dyersville? It's stupid. I hate that movie. It fucking gives a lot of people in Iowa pride, and I disagree.
But anyway. it is fun, though, that you admit Iowa sucks, but this, is this heaven? No, it's Iowa keeps people being like, I'm glad I live here. Yes. That's like being with an abusive husband, and he goes, no, but you can take a punch. And she goes, right? Okay, never mind. I thought it was bad. Okay.
So they had this Hall of Fame game or something, and George Brett was playing there. My dad loves George Brett.
He's the man.
Yeah, my dad likes guys who are kind of assholes.
I shit my pants last night.
Yeah.
You ever seen that video?
Oh, of course. My brother's name's Brett after George Brett.
Really?
Yeah, I'm Brooks after Brooks Robinson. My dad just named us after baseball players he wanted to meet. There's a lot of photos of Brooks Robinson being confused, holding me, and my dad's in the back what up? Because baseball players used to have to go to fucking card shows because they weren't paid very well.
Yeah, they made $40,000 a year.
Yeah, imagine Derek Jeter sitting down and meeting all his psycho fans for $5 a fucking autograph.
I named him Derek.
Yeah.
Hey. Saying it like he's gonna get emotional.
Yeah.
It's your kid.
Yeah.
And he goes I named him Derek after you.
So my dad goes to this Field of Dreams game. George Brett's playing there.
Yeah.
He gets bombed or something, pays way too much money to win George Brett's game worn jersey.
Yeah.
And they're the same age. And then my dad puts it on and he's out in the parking lot wearing a fucking game worn George Brett jersey, and people in Iowa are the dumbest people I've ever met. And they're like, it's George Brett. And my dad doesn't stop it.
That's fun though.
So he starts signing a lot of autographs as George Brett. He signs a bunch of autographs until one guy gets up there and he's just like, what the fuck? This is not George Brett.
That is, because that's before the internet.
Yeah.
That's you had to watch games. Mm-hmm. Also, we always talk about the destruction that alcohol does.
Right.
Can we talk about some of the good stuff?
Yeah, that's really fun.
Because that is so funny.
Yeah.
Your dad's just in a George Brett jersey going, come here, I'll sign that. He's just got baseballs and shit. He goes, hey, is this too? Hey, you're welcome.
My dad said,
Go Royals. Royals.
He's like, the one thing I did feel bad about was some guy came up and he showed me his jersey that had like all of these Hall of Fame signatures.
You can't do that.
And then one false George Brett signature.
You can't.
He's like, I feel bad for that.
You can't have Sandy Koufax on a jersey
Right.
and then you're just your dad.
And then Jim Wheelan.
Jim Wheelan is so funny. Who is that? Jim Wheelan?
Jim Wheelan?
But honestly, that sounds like a Hall of Fame baseballer.
Right, yeah.
That sounds like a Hall of Fame baseball. If you were like, Jim Wheelan played for the Blue Jays from 76 to 81, I go,
incredible. He's really, that guy, great. He fought a lot, right?
Was he fought? Well, dude, your whole family's tough as shit.
Oh,
what's crazy is you're a sweetheart. Hey, guys, it's me, Dan Soder. You know how I love, don't look at me like that, Myrtle. You know I love talking about underwear and shorts, bathing suits. All right, well, Myrtle's out. No, I'm just kidding. If you're a true believer in thigh exposure, showing those big old yams, you know that Chubbies is still the premier name in men's shorts. Might be getting a little chilly out, but pairing chubby shorts with a fall sweater on and a cozy jacket, look at that. Show them legs. Well, I love a short hoodie combination. I wear it around the house all the time, especially my Chubbies. I love my most comfortable sweatshirt mixed with some Chubbies. Sitting on the couch, doesn't get better than that. And the original stretch shorts put Chubbies on the map for a reason. They're available in 3 inseam lengths, depending on how much thigh you feel like showing off. And the shorts are made with a super stretchy fabric and elastic waistband for max comfort and flexibility. Come on, Chubbies also has the classic line swim trunks, which that's how I got into Chubbies. Shout out Bert for giving me a pair when we were on the Fully Loaded tour. Absolutely loved them. Wore them all over, and now they got shorts, so it's like, yeah, I would love a pair of that. And would you look at that? Folks, for a limited time, our friends at Chubbies are giving our listeners 20% off with the promo code SODER20 at checkout at chubbyshorts.com. That's 20% off your order with the promo code SODER20. Support our show and tell them we sent you. This fall, make the most of every moment with Chubbies. Shop now and fall into comfort, one stylish piece at a time.
We have 2 older brothers who were mean, but now are nice.
Yeah, which is how you want family to be.
I don't know. I would have taken...
I'm an only child, so I'm like...
I would have definitely taken nice and then still nice. Like, that's what you want.
You were the baby?
Yeah.
What's the difference between you and your oldest?
So
the oldest
6
brother.
year older and 4 years older.
Oh yeah.
And they fought a lot, like hard. They still don't get along, like in a funny way.
Yeah, like they'll be like, they'll do like kid stuff as adults.
No. My middle brother is a head wrestling coach in Iowa.
He's like a good.
He's very, very good. He's very good. And then so our oldest brother stopped fighting him once they got even. And it upset my middle brother very much
because he wanted to.
I can fuck you up.
Yeah.
And my other brother's like, I don't fight anymore. He's like, I want to fucking kill you. Like,
you know what? I'm way on your middle brother's side.
Yeah.
Because because shit runs downhill.
Yeah.
And your middle brother caught all the shit from the older brother, which means you caught all the shit from the middle brother.
From him. Yeah.
Who's now he teaches people how to beat kids up.
Yeah. And like, I'll never be able to beat him up ever. So I don't know what this feeling he has is.
That's why you're funny.
Yeah.
Because you can learned how to diffuse the situation by being silly.
Well, not between them. No,
not those two. But
I'm saying even with them fighting me when I was little, like,
you couldn't get out of it?
There was no funniness to get out of this.
Did you ever get him once with like a joke? Like break him?
No, I don't think so.
Damn.
I don't, to this day, I'm pretty sure they're like, what? It's not good. They're supportive, but I don't think I've ever told them anything. They're like, oh. They're mostly like, do you know Dan Soder?
Yeah,
like that's, they like good comedy. They really do.
You guys play your cards right. Shane Gillis might find out about you.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what's crazy is because you guys all wrestled, right?
Yeah, but
was your dad a wrestler?
No, my mom's brothers were all wrestlers. Oh, I got a fun 90s story. Coolest 90s thing in the world. My uncle, who was the state champion wrestler who then played football for Missouri, won like 5 episodes of American Gladiators when I was like 7.
Dude, your uncle was an American Gladiator champion?
Won like 5 episodes. Yeah, his name's Ted LePage.
Ted LePage?
He's on YouTube. You can look it up.
We're fucking buddy. Yeah. I'll fire up the big screen. We can fucking put it on.
He's fucking hammering people.
Dude, I would do a watch along of American Gladiators with you. Do you smoke pot? I know you quit drinking.
No, I'll definitely smoke pot and do that.
I would smoke a joint and watch an American
That sounds
Gladiators
fun
with
as hell,
you.
yeah.
So your mom's family, are both your families from Iowa?
They're from Missouri. Missouri got too exciting for them and they went to Iowa.
The Ozarks got too cracking.
Yeah, it's too fun.
So your family's was from Missouri.
Was from Missouri, yeah.
And then were you the first generation from Iowa?
Yeah. So then in Iowa, wrestling's huge. My brothers,
it's the biggest.
Yeah, my brothers are spazzes, so then they start wrestling. So then I wrestled, and I was good. I was decent at wrestling.
Dude, you were better than decent. You were second in the state of Iowa.
Well, when I in like fucking like middle school. In high school, I never placed.
I don't give a
Sure.
fuck.
Anyway.
Do you know how bad at wrestling I was?
Okay.
Do you know how absolutely bad at wrestling I was? A single mom. I'm just a sweet boy. And then I fucking get into it. Dude, your uncle looks badass.
Dude, you should watch him play Breakthrough and Conquer. That was
Breakthrough
where
and Conquer is awesome.
he was just lighting up gladiators in the ring because he was state champ. So he's just like fucking tossing Gemini on his head and shit.
Yes. Gemini and Nitro.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that documentary was there was 2 documentaries about American Gladiators.
Yeah.
The one on Netflix I liked more because it was more complete.
For sure.
And it talked to the actual gladiators.
Yeah.
It didn't do like the Hulu one was like, oh, this is how it was made. But those gladiators were mostly just fitness models.
Absolutely, yeah. And
So
then,
a guy like your uncle is a big fucking problem.
right, for sure. And so, but then
A state champion wrestler
also-
going against a guy who's usually like just taking roids to go like, American Gladiators? You don't know American Gladiators? Dog.
what?
Oh buddy,
my gosh!
there
you
would
don't
be
know
no
him?
American
How
Ninja
do you
Warrior.
not know Are you not American?
Yeah, no, he's younger, so you got to explain to him.
Oh, okay.
He didn't grow up. He
Wait,
grew up.
how old are you? 32.
So
Yeah,
he
you
was
might have
like-
just missed it.
That's what it is. It was a cultural phenomenon in
Absolutely.
the late 80s, early 90s. American Gladiators. Hi, younger kids. It's me,
So-
your Uncle Dan. American Gladiators was a competition show where they had these quote unquote gladiators.
Strong, big, strong fucking
They
dudes.
looked
Laser,
awesome.
Power, Gemini,
Lace.
like Diamond. My dad was always like, I like Diamond.
So it was
spoke like Trump for some reason.
Yeah.
That's Diamond for me.
She's a sexy girl. So they were all like these like
Huge roided out dudes, and then they would
Yeah.
have contenders come. Like,
regular people would
Yeah.
come and do different games like Breakthrough and Conquer,
Right.
or they would do like Powerball,
Powerball
where they'd
is
have
sick.
these like Nerf balls and they have to put them in these baskets.
while you're getting fucking just attacked. It's like American Ninja Warrior if while you're doing it, somebody bigger is trying to pull you off.
Yeah, it was awesome. Great documentary on Netflix that's 6 parts about like all the CTE that occurred, all these people that get knocked out. Because what they would do is they would go get guys who, compared to a guy on steroids, looks like a regular guy, and they'd be like, hey, what's up? My name is John.
Yeah.
I'm a military drill sergeant. And then some of these guys were fucking animals, like Brooks' uncle.
My uncle was like he's played, it was like a fucking starting safety for Missouri.
Which, I'm going to tell you right now, any position on the field, safeties can crack and cover.
Yeah.
Fucking problem.
So he's just a really fast, strong dude. And so like he could go in and wreck shit up.
I love that. I can't wait to. I gotta watch. Are all the episodes on?
No, but there's a few where he's really lighting it up, and I'm like, but then when I would watch it with my friends, I had the inside scoop. I was like, my uncle says that Nitro's a pretty good guy, actually.
Yeah, I would do that all the time.
No, and I'd be like, Viper actually is a dick.
Yeah. Just to let you guys know, Hollywood and Gemini do not get along.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
I'm trying to live through this through a mind of a 7-year-old.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I'm saying. It's the most exciting thing ever to happen to a little kid. Like your mom's little brother is on American Gladiators, which is already your favorite fucking show, dude. I was losing my mind.
The only way it would be cooler is if your dad was a pro wrestler who fought Hulk Hogan.
Yes,
like that would be at the time period. The only thing that would be bigger is you have a family member who not only goes on American Gladiators but kicks the shit out of them.
Yeah, he didn't. He lost in the finals. I remember. To
The Eliminator got him.
No, like he won like 5 to get to. There was a tournament.
I remember the tournament,
and like he lost to a dude in the final. I even remember the guy's name. It's like Will Clifton or something. I was so bummed. I was like, gosh dang it, that guy must be insanely good.
Yeah,
because like in my head, there's nobody better at sports than my uncle. And then I was like, somebody's better at sports. What the frick? No frick.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
But because they would get like it was always the army guys that were a problem.
Yeah.
Like if someone was like, first class lieutenant, and then they just show and fuck shit up, and you're like, well, yeah, this guy was in. Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Of his uncle?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Let me see it real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My uncle's a rad dude. Then now he's the football coach in Missouri and like crushing it. Like,
I mean, this would be day one. I'd show my players this footage.
Yeah.
You know, just let you know.
I mean, they used to play it all the time on ESPN Classic, and I would call and be like, "You're all fucking ESPN Classic."
ESPN Classic.
I think he was a little like, ugh, you know. I think maybe he just didn't
I wonder
seem.
if he goes through. I wonder if he goes through like stages of it. You know what I mean?
I'm sure that he's cool with it now, but maybe when he was like, 35, he's like, yeah, I was like, 23 then or whatever.
Larry Zonka, dude.
Larry Zonka, dude. Dolphins right
Dolphins,
there.
right? One of the classic Dolphins.
Yeah. So who do we got here? That's my uncle. That's Ted.
Shout out Uncle Ted.
Yeah. Oh, dude, this purple American Gladiators thing is at my grandparents' house. Like,
we'll edit this in, so this will be bottom part of the stream.
Yeah, because it gets like ripped. Oh, it gets ripped in this thing, and so that ripped American Gladiators jersey was like on the mantle at my grandparents' house.
Do they have a wall of Ted?
Oh, they got a fucking wall of Ted, and they have 6 other children.
Really?
So it's just a wall of Ted, and then small photos of their other children.
Yeah. First round. Yeah, look at that.
He's fucking he's a tough dude.
Yeah, dude, he looks like a football coach.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
Cliff Miller? Cliff Miller wasn't the guy.
No, fuck, he does lose a fucking Cliff Miller. Yes,
Cliff
this is when he loses.
Oh, no, we're not going to watch this another time. But, dude, I would absolutely watch a full episode.
Oh, no, it's fun as hell.
Because, so when you have, like, that many brothers and sisters, and one of them is a phenomenal athlete.
And he's the youngest by, like, a lot.
So he's the baby.
Yeah.
And the wall of Ted.
The wall of Ted is legit. It's very real. And no one can be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of accomplishments right there.
God damn, you did that too?
Yeah.
You kind of want him to suck a little bit. Yeah. So you're like, I mean, why put that on the wall? But then you're like, oh, fuck, that's actually kind of cool. I'm glad you guys put this up here.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Is that what got you guys into wrestling? Was your mom's brothers?
Yes, because they were so good at wrestling that then they started wrestling. And then,
did your dad have like the inkling of like, oh, well, my brothers-in-law are good at wrestling. Let's see if the boys are. Was your dad?
I think it was just my mom being like, my dad loved baseball straight up. He names us all after baseball players. So then he was like, he's just loved baseball and basketball, and we weren't good enough at those things.
That's so funny.
Wrestling's great if you're not good at real sports.
No,
I'm saying you could. I don't have coordination to like catch or throw far.
Yeah,
and you could maybe learn that, but like you can like kind of learn wrestling without like real.
Determination is the number one thing in wrestling.
Yeah.
I've noticed from any of my friends that I know that were good at wrestling, Greg Warren, Mike Vecchione, they're like, they have this thing of like iron, like just laser eye focus.
Yeah. It's
where they'll go like, I'll go through hell to get to this.
Yeah.
thing.
It's like the one sport where it's like, you got to run through that wall. And most people are like, I don't want to. And wrestling's like, I'm going to run through the wall.
We do wall run throughs.
Yeah.
We got to do 3 of these before we practice.
Like, for why? What?
We smash through drywall and then it does like cardio.
It's also, I think it's just such like a it's such a sport that nobody watches, so there's no glory in it, really.
Well, there's a thing where it's the perfect South Park episode where they explain that professional wrestling is like all theatrics.
Right.
It's all entertainment. It's all storyline and shit. And then you are literally watching the polar opposite of it, which is like grit and determination.
There's no flair.
No flair.
But these guys don't like interviews.
They don't even want to wear the things that protect their ears.
No,
they're just like, I kind of have to because it hurts.
Dude, the funniest thing is like after the NCAA like Division I championships, they always interview like some absolute psychopath who just became the best wrestler in the United States. Yeah. And they're like, how's it going? He's like, good. Yeah. Like it's just, these guys have just dead eyes.
There's a book called Fighter's Mind by Sam Sheridan. There's also Fighter's Heart. But in A Fighter's Mind, Sam Sheridan interviews Dan Gable, who's like the Iowa wrestler.
Yeah, that guy. Whoa. Dude, talk about losing my mind during COVID. I freaked out because Dan Gable's very around. I saw him a lot growing up. He's the coach of the University of Iowa. Won the Olympics.
Also a legendary Olympian, a legendary,
most famous wrestler in the history of the world.
Like this guy won 3 national titles in a row.
2. They could only do. He went undefeated his whole high school and college year, but when he was in college, you couldn't wrestle your freshman year, so you could only win 3.
So I'm wrong. So but he won 2.
It's totally fine.
Then on the 3rd, he was in the finals to win his 3rd straight. And
never lost in his life, high school and college.
And in the final minute, loses.
He lost to Larry Owens. It's a regular Cliff Miller over there.
Yeah.
From my uncle.
Yeah, Cliff Miller.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing all right.
Oh, catching strays. Cliff Miller's like, what the hell
I love this podcast. I fucking watch this shit. But anyways, Dan Gable, just to let you know how big of a psycho he is. He got pinned his senior year to win the thing. He went on. He was so motivated by that. He went to the Olympics and didn't have a point scored on him.
Then he won the world championships in the Olympics back to back and retired, and then coached the University of Iowa to like 21 NCAA championships. So he's like legend around town.
He's like the Iowa guy.
Legend. Was kind of a dick to my brother, because my brother was the head coach of Waterloo West, where he went, and then he was like, this new guy thinks he has some, like, he's all like, my brother's like 28. And I was like, don't hurt my brother's feelings, man.
Yeah. Hey, Gable.
But then Dan Gable was like my hero growing up. Love him. Go watch his speeches. Go to all his wrestling camps. And then during COVID, he broke my when we were all just a little shaky.
Everyone.
Right before the fucking election, when you were just peak losing your mind. I was drinking so much my back hurt. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, why does my back hurt? I'm not doing anything.
My spine shouldn't hurt.
Yes. And Trump went, and I was just like down. It was dark. Trump went and gave Dan Gable the Presidential Medal of Freedom as a way to get votes in Iowa.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I'm going to give their favorite guy this thing. And then Dan Gable like raised Trump's hand and pointed at him and said, now this is a winner. And I broke every cell in my brain, because I was like, no, Dan Gable is the working man. You work hard and you achieve. And this is the opposite of that. He's a rich guy who's piece of shit. And I just went off on Twitter. I was like, fuck Dan Gable.
Oh, no.
Like, fuck Iowa. You're all pieces of shit.
No.
And then I was like, Slipknot fucking sucks. They're from fucking Ankeny. Ankeny's a fucking rich kid town.
What are you
like,
doing?
Corey Taylor, you're a fucking piece of shit. Dude, just like so mad at Iowa, so mad at my whole world is
Full heel turn.
Dude, I get a call from my brother in the morning. I was like hungover, wake up, and he's like, yo, my friends reach out to me. What are you doing? And I was like, what? He goes, you're fucking up back home, man. Like, you were like, he's like, do not say that shit about Slipknot, okay? He's like, Corey Taylor? Corey Taylor's from fucking Waterloo, okay? He's not from, like, he just schooled me on Slipknot. He's like, sure,
dude,
fuck Gable.
that is so funny that the first person they go, keep Slipknot, especially in the age we live in,
Yeah.
where people are like, if you mention a presidential candidate the wrong way, either side will threaten your life.
Yeah.
It's just so funny that the first one is they go, fucking Slipknot, dude.
Well,
they've done a lot. There's 4 volumes of spooky ooky, crazy music. Yeah, dude.
Well, it's like Gable and Slipknot are like the most Iowa thing you
Yeah.
can have. So I'm just like, I hate Iowa.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm sorry. And then I like tweeted at Corey Taylor. I was like, look, man, I was wasted. Dan Gable just broke my heart.
Did Corey Taylor write anything back?
No, of course not. I just called him a pussy.
And now you got to wear. Now when you go to Iowa, you have to wear a Slipknot mask.
I've listened to Wait and Bleed after that and was like, it is a really good song.
They got some bangers.
They've got some really good ones.
You cannot listen. If we're gonna sit here and shit on Stained, yes.
No, I'm only mad at them because Ankeny, we wrestled there one time and I was like, this is a really nice school and this is where Slipknot's from. I wish I was from here.
But a lot of times, the rich kids are the ones whose parents are the coldest.
Yes.
Because they're into money and society. Mm. So that's where the demon
That's
festers.
where they're so mad.
That's where the evil gets in.
It is a rich suburb of Des Moines, which might be worse than like the small farm town that I grew up in.
Yeah, Des Moines?
A suburb of Des Moines.
Oh, yeah.
That's where you're like, I'm not even in Des Moines.
I can't even get Des Moines love. Honestly, kind of how I felt growing up in Aurora. I was like, I'm not even in Denver.
How far away is that?
It's maybe 15, 20 minutes south.
It's the same as...
It's all connected through suburbs.
Right.
Like you would never know when you're in Aurora and then all of a sudden you're in Denver.
But that's like really the only suburb of Denver that it gets its own like classification,
well, it's
right?
a city. Yeah, it's its own city.
Right.
But like there's like I don't really know. Honestly, I'm too stupid to speak on this. I don't really know. I do know that Aurora is its own city with the worst fucking catchphrase in the world when you drive in and out of from the airport. When you go into Aurora from DIA, it says Aurora, it says All America City. Like it's not even an All American city.
An All America city?
All America. That's what the sign says. And look it up. If you're driving on fucking Pena Boulevard from the fucking airport, it says Aurora, an All America city, and you're like, it sounds AI.
They should, it's also funny if they were like All America, like not even get that right.
You go,
All America City.
Fuck,
what
man.
are you doing?
And my mom said the school district was good here.
What's going on with that Mustang that you guys got at your airport?
Oh, the creepy horse,
the Blue Demon,
killed the guy that made it.
Really?
Yeah, I think when they were like installing it, it fell on him. Can you look that up so I make sure that I'm not lying? But I'm pretty sure that thing killed him. It was DIA. They went for some wild late 90s swings that did not age well.
No, there's like people with gas masks. Like
there's that mural that's super fucked up.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how they explain that.
I don't.
It fell on him in the studio. So not even installing it in the studio, then killed him.
Put it up.
It's fucking spooky.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be a tip of the cap to the old Bronco that was on top of Mile High Stadium, which was pretty cool, which I think they have it in Vesco or whatever that stadium's called now. But yeah, that like...
Also, Aurora is the world in a city, our story, our way.
The world in a city... But then why does that sign say in All America City?
Also, the world in a city. What the fuck
The
are
world
you
in a
talking
city, yeah. So that's how they get rid of these Venezuelans. Then he's got to tell my mom, I've been fucking with people so bad that have been like, because we're having Andrew Callahan on the podcast.
Okay.
And he did a Channel 5 thing about the Venezuelans in Aurora. So I'm excited to talk to him about it.
Okay.
Because I've just been fucking with friends of mine that think it's real. They're like, dude, is your mom okay? And I go, no.
Wait, is that a thing where they said Venezuelans are coming to Aurora?
They're saying a lot of right-wing news sources were saying that a Venezuelan prison gang took over multiple complexes in Aurora.
All right.
There was a robbery involving a prison gang from Venezuela, but those guys like robbed an apartment and then left. But then you should check out the channel. If you're watching this right now, check out the Channel 5 documentary. We're going to have Andrew Callahan on to talk about it. But he goes and talks to everybody. And like, there's a lot there. There was a prison gang, but it didn't take over the apartment complex.
Sure,
but a lot of these
these key words are just like, migrant robbery.
Well, you find out in the documentary, the owner of the apartment complex, which was like not picking up its trash, not fixing its plumbing, he fled to Florida. And then gave that story to this publicity firm that put it out that this Venezuelan prison gang took over this apartment complex.
Right.
I think he did it to get out of the bank fucking trying to get him. But all I know is my Twitter and my Instagram are people being like, dude, is your mom all right? And am I not going to fuck with you?
Yeah.
You're going to go with fake news? You think I'm not going to fuck with you? So a lot of times I'll just be like, no. Yeah, it's bad.
They took her back to Venezuela.
It's bad. Yeah, she's an abuela for a family that she's never even met. She's a Venezuelan grandma now, and it's not even her kid, or it's not even a real grandkid. But it's like it's hilarious. I think that shit. If we're gonna in this age of misinformation and everything's fucked up, have fun with it,
dude. I fucking love the Donald Trump McDonald's shit so much. Like, I genuinely think it's the funniest shit ever.
I think it's brilliant.
Like, he's like, she didn't work at McDonald's, I'll go work at McDonald's. And I'm like, this is so funny.
I'm telling you right now.
So funny.
I'm telling you right now. It's the media that's making us feel like this is the apocalypse.
Right.
But it is so funny.
It's so
watching presidential candidates go on fucking podcasts and try to act like they're regular people is the best comedy I could have ever asked for. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about Mando whole body deodorant. What if I told you I'm lathered in it right now? I take a bath in it. I melt it and I put it in my bath now. But Mando full body deodorant, because sometimes you have parts of you that don't know what smells. Honestly, I can't smell. You know that about me. So I just hope the people at Mando aren't having me going out in public smelling like a bunch of dog dung, But it's 72-hour odor control, long-lasting, doctor-developed, doesn't cause you irritation, and apparently smells really good. I can't really comment on that. But it works other than deodorants you've tried, because this one, like I said, long-lasting. And they got a body wash that's got 24-hour odor control, sudsy lather. Why wouldn't you want that in a body wash? Please tell me why. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked up on my favorite smelling, or I'm told, whole body deodorant. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That's the equivalent of $40% off your starter pack. So use the code
Soder.
a little bit of a curveball
Soder.
at shopmando.com. Shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you.
Did you ever see a teacher that you didn't get along with outside of school when you were with your mom?
Dude, we had to do a parking lot meetup because not in a sexual way. I was failing 8th grade, like across the board.
That's hard to do too. They want you out of there.
They want you out of there so bad.
Yeah.
If you're failing 8th grade, you're being a real dickhead.
You're doing something crazy.
Or you just
and it sounds like you had a normal mom too.
My mom was a good mom.
Yeah, so you must have just been really wild.
I was going through some stuff.
Okay.
And you got to miss a lot of school to
A lot.
You got to be a little truant,
Right.
If you're not going to pass 8th grade. Also, you can do no work. I found out, but we got to this point.
It's
where
an option. Yeah.
My mom goes, if you get more than an F, if you get more than one F, I'm going to make you repeat 8th grade.
Ooh.
And I was like,
Uh-oh.
no, you won't. And my mom's like, do you want to go down this path?
Right.
And when I realized she was serious, I was like, it was like maybe like 3 months left of school. And I was like, fuck. And my mom's like, so you better find a way. So
Because remember how all your friends are going to go to high school,
dude,
and that's exciting probably.
It was the most stressed I've ever been in my life because it's like, it was like a movie where they're like, you have to care. You have to care or you're going to be back in 8th grade. Everyone was like, I was like, fucking high school. I'm going to miss high school. I would have graduated in 02, not in 01. But I like went to all my teachers and I was like, listen, I told them like, I won't repeat. And a couple of them were like, well, you're failing my class. And my French teacher was like, listen, I'll make an exception and I will give you extra credit if you go do the first semester's packet that you did not do.
Okay.
And I was like, you would do that?
That's
And she was
reasonable.
like,
It's also a lot of work.
a lot of work. I think it was like close to 2 to 3 hours of French work every Saturday and Sunday for like 4 weeks. So I didn't have a weekend.
No.
I would just have to sit inside and I can't speak French for shit.
Right.
But I learned how to like conjugate and do all that shit and like do the worksheets. But we would have to meet her at the King Soopers parking lot to like hand over the dossier.
Wow.
And it was like a teacher that I was like,
That's a good teacher though.
Yeah, Mrs. Christian, I forgot her name. Fuck. But she was cool. Shout out Mrs. Vale that also did it, she was Mrs. Stone, and then she got remarried. But Ms. Vale graduated from ASU and then was our 8th grade English teacher, and we were not easy.
No.
She goes to my comedy shows when I'm in Portland.
I think 8th grade is the worst you'll ever be to an adult.
Yes.
Like that's the hardest because like you have no empathy for what they're going up to and you're trying to show off for girls now.
Yes.
So you're like, I'm going to destroy this idiot's life because it's funny to me because I can never see myself having that life.
It is, you reach the point where you're a spicy child.
Yeah.
It's spicy children.
It's a lot of like, what are you going to do about it?
They just reach a point where they go like, you ain't shit to me.
Because also like, it's like when I realized like, you can't hit me,
Yeah.
you know, like, because
Yeah.
like 6th grade, you're like, you could really hurt me. But in 8th grade, you're like, if you hit me, I'll sue you.
Yeah.
Like that's
and
me
you
learning
also
about.
go, you hit me, I might have a chance in the fight. I'm
Right.
starting to hit puberty.
Yeah.
Like I have hair, I have 2 hairs on my balls. Try it.
Dude,
But in 8th grade, were you a bad kid in 8th grade?
I mean, I was the worst type of bad kid because I would get good grades. So they had no.
They didn't have a case on
They don't
you.
have ammo against me, and I would go, and you get your mom on your side early. Like, how's school's like, Mr. Kramer's got it out for me. Like you get her boiling
I'm doing
up.
well, but
You get her boiled up before she goes in. You know what I mean? And then she goes in, and she's got your back a little bit.
my mom always went in with the thing of what did he do?
Oh, okay.
My mom knew.
Yeah.
My mom knew I was the class clown. My
Yeah.
mom always knew. The thing my mom always knew, the thing that my mom always was told was, Dan's very funny. He just does it at inappropriate times.
Right.
And so my mom would be like, she would come home and hit me with, I'm surprised I don't have this tattooed in Old English on my back. There's a time and a place.
Okay.
Because my mom would always fuck. My mom's gonna laugh. She watches this podcast. Hey mom, when she sees this, she's gonna be like, I did say that all the time.
Yes.
Because they would be like, because by the way, I would fucking kill. Like, Yeah, are we acting like I'm not being funny in class? Like,
Right.
I'm fucking.
That's fun.
I'm bringing it,
Dude.
And when I was saying this to Sagalo recently, when they go out in the hallway, that's your good night, everybody.
Yeah, thank you
I've
so
been Dan
much.
Soder. Don't forget.
All right, yeah.
DanSoder.com.
Don't forget to tip the teachers at the
Yeah.
end.
I'd love a pudding at lunch if you have credits on your account.
Dude, in 8th grade, me and my friends got quickly kicked off of all the field trips.
Yeah.
Like pretty quick. They're 3 strikes, no more field trips.
Yeah,
and
dude.
then it just turned into when they would go on field trips, me and my 4 best friends at school. But we weren't even having school. They're you just have study hall, and we're just this is way better than going to the museum.
Fuck the museum, dude.
Yeah.
We're going to do so much stuff in the classroom.
We're downloading World of early World of Warcraft stuff.
Oh.
It was so fun.
I'm so lucky I didn't have computers.
Yeah.
We had a computer lab, and you had to
Dude, computer lab. We had computer lab, and the thing was they would change this website to this very graphic image of a woman, and we would make it your background. And then when you would go to sit down and open up your computer, it would be the craziest sex image you've ever seen.
I remember Lemon Party from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And that's '01. So that's how old Lemon Party is someone in '01 knew in the computer lab, I can bring up a picture of 3 old men sucking each other's dicks in a daisy chain.
Yeah.
And I'll leave this on the computer. And I remember high school me being could be the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Funniest thing I ever saw anybody do in high school. I sat next to this kid, Mitch, and we were in typing class, and this would have been 2002, and he was a real kind of a weird guy. Here's what Mitch would do. Mitch would wear this Cradle of Filth shirt to school a lot that said Jesus was a cunt.
Wild boy.
Yeah, and they would be like, Mitch, turn it inside out.
Yeah, he's I just think he's a cunt.
Yeah, so that's Mitch. And if you can believe it, Mitch, very fast at typing for our age. This guy lived on the internet.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Mitch is still alive, his capability of decimating me is very high.
Oh, for sure. So this is what he would do. So fucking crazy. We're computer lab. I'm sitting next to Mitch. He's wild, but I think he's so fascinating. So I'm always asking him what's up, and he's can't be bothered with me. But what he would do is we'd have a lesson. It's speed round, 5 minutes, get all this done. He'd jam that out in 35 seconds. Not even fucking joking. It was like a machine. Then he would go to a porn site, find an image, hit print, clear the history, and go back to typing. So then, because you had one printer up front,
right on the side of the classroom,
right next to the teacher, where she's up there and just start click on and be like,
and
and my teacher would be she's like, who's printing? Because and then she would slowly realize oh my god, as the image came out of this gangbang, she's like, oh god, and then she said, hands up, everybody, hands up. And I'm shaking with how hard I'm laughing. Yeah. So she comes over to the Jesus was a cunt guy and was pull up your search history or whatever. You're in a search history. And the guy knows way more about computers than her.
I mean, he is the adult, she's the child in that situation.
Just proves he's what? And then I'm just crying with,
because
it's the funniest thing I've ever seen anybody do. Just the teacher slowly be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Hip, 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 hip.
And don't forget, guys, we're going to have another... that's stopping.
Hip, hip,
Then I got Mitch a job at Papa John's after that because I thought he was so funny. Dude. Then he refused to give them his social security number and left. And they're like, what's up with that guy? I go, he's just Mitch, man. That guy's crazy.
You ever looked up Mitch?
No.
Find him.
He's a cool dude.
I want to know where Mitch is.
He's either doing something really great or something really bad.
He is either full Kaczynski or a tech. He lives in Palo Alto.
Absolutely.
And he goes, Brooks, I'll have you down to the beach home.
There's no middle ground for
None.
Mitch.
There's no just a guy that works at
Mitch,
Ace
did you
Hardware.
see this? Hit me up. You're the man.
Please, Mitch.
You made me laugh so much.
Mitch, please find us. You're out there. You're on the internet.
Yeah.
You're like Ghost Rider.
Okay.
We got to go talk to you on the internet. Find us,
Yeah,
Mitch.
cool guy.
Yeah, dude. Those are my favorite. My favorite people were the really smart people who were very talented at something, but also kind of didn't give a fuck.
No, this is the best.
It's those friends that are talented beyond. My friend Matt Lamparzik, he's in the Navy, who started comedy together, but he's just one of those guys that does everything so well that you're oh, dude. He was a drummer in a fucking metal band, and now he's just a dad, but he'll fuck around, and you're oh, dude, you're awesome. I can't do any of that shit.
I had a buddy, this guy, Justin Potter, in high school, like state champion, like he could run like I asked him what his fastest mile time is. He was like, probably like 4:29, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Chain smoked and would run all the time, just smoking, drinking, and then be like, I gotta go be the fastest person you've ever seen.
I love that shit, dude.
Yeah.
I love people with just like an insane amount of talent and they're not sucking their own dicks by it.
No.
I think that's why everyone's over celebrities now, is because I think those people are cooler than anybody that pretends to be a superhero. I think those people are cooler than anybody that like, you're like, oh, big deal. You have a fucking TV show. This guy can fucking backflip.
Right.
You're like, let's go back to that.
Did you ever print off a porno? That's not funny.
Entire class laugh?
Yeah.
Oh, what, you did a good job in Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah.
Hit the fucking skids.
You're right, though. Celebrities are out.
It's done. It's cooked. And you could tell. That's why.
How do you feel about the Costco guys?
Love them. Here
Fascinating.
comes the boom.
Yeah.
It's going to be the greatest. Sagalo and I on the road talk about this too much. There's going to be a huge documentary coming out.
Yeah, it's going to be a real true Hollywood story about Big Justice and AJ.
But it's going to be a Netflix doc, 4-parter called Boom or Doom, the story of the Rizzler.
I love the Rizzler. See, I want the Rizzler. I like the Rizzler on his own. I don't like him with this little subgroup. You know, I'm like,
What's
Rizzler,
the wide
Rizzler,
eyes?
Rizzler, you got Rizzler.
They are.
You have something special. You don't need anybody else. You can do this
Go
on your
solo,
own.
dude.
Go solo.
Solo record.
Yeah.
They are the human version of the Macarena.
Yeah.
And young people will not understand because the Macarena was everywhere and then it was gone. And that is what will happen.
I think that-
is that
so-
you're like, oh, the president did the Macarena. Like,
AJ started trying to put some of his pro wrestling into it, and I'm like, this is where it crumbles. We stick to Costco.
but then you find out, because the Rolling Stone did an article on him.
Really?
This guy was doing videos for his real estate thing.
Okay.
And then he put his kid in the video.
Oh.
And they did the double chocolate chunk. And it blew up. And it's like they got a hit. And then it's so funny in the
Gotta run
article,
with it.
he was like, and then my son said to me, no, Dad, now this is our channel. And you go,
Jesus.
he didn't say that. He said, I want to play with my friends. And he said, make the video.
He said, all right, we're going to find you a little pudgier friend because it looks like a Pokemon.
Yeah, he goes, what if we found the unevolved version of you and we gave him a cool name like because the Rizzler's not even related to that.
Yeah. No,
just
I know. It's the guy from the internet that they're like, let's bring him. Let's get the Rat Pack. They're the new Rat Pack.
He's our Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
And by that he's going to lose an eye to diabetes unless they let him fucking run. But it's one of those things where that's the new. It's so funny because the celebrities now are influencers. They're people that film their kids sleeping. They're people that yell in their car or they eat a double chocolate chunk. It's all that. It's not like Sir Anthony Hopkins. That's why it's going to be funny with like the Queen. It's going to be Sir Rizzler. Like when they start, when people get so famous, they're like, he got knighted.
Yeah.
He was like,
Well, but those people are more. Those people are more fun to meet because you feel like you know them a little bit.
well, that's the thing is it's parasocial.
Yeah.
Celebrities, the allure of celebrities where you were never going to see them. If you did, you would lose your mind.
Right.
Now it's, I'm friends with all these people.
Yes.
And these people all, and I think that's actually, it's why I put a podcast. It's why I put on Last Podcast on the Left if I'm just like cleaning the house.
No,
because you're like listening to something, but it doesn't feel lonely.
No, not at all. You're totally right. And then because then you build up this relationship that you have, but it's a totally one-sided relationship that when people when I run into podcasts that I like, I'm like, I have like a inflated sense of how famous they are because in my brain, they're so famous. Do you know what I mean? Because I listen to them so much, spend so much time with fucking these wrestling podcasts that I like, Flow Wrestling. I love it. And these dudes are just like normal, chill guys. But when I see them, I'm like, holy heck, you guys are really important to me.
That's George Brett with your dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's like your dad meeting George Brett and naming his son after, him and then meeting him and being like, I named my son after him. George Brett's like, shit, man, I hit 2 for 4 that day. He's like, I got a beer and I think I had a thick woman at the Holiday Inn give me a room key, but I don't really remember that much. Nice to meet you, man. But that's why celebrities that's what's interesting now about watching old school, quote unquote, old school celebrities that are actors and musicians and stuff, kind of learning from podcast people of okay, I got to be a little more open.
Dude, I had my podcast for 4-5 years. This podcast, Entry Level, is really fun. I liked doing it, but then I got sucked into this I sold this TV show and I had to like develop this thing for
Yeah,
Fox,
Fox,
for like 2 years. And it was like, I was like, this is more important to me, the Fox show. And it was a really dumb, like in the grand scheme of things, like Fox show didn't go. And I just kind of like tailed off in this podcast. I'm like, oh dude, you just always got to keep that podcast rocking.
Well, the thing that, and you know, I don't know shit. I'm fucking, you know, I'm doing all right, but I don't know. I'm not by nowhere near like the top. But what I found is that
you're pretty close.
It's, you just have to build your own audience.
Yeah.
And that's why all these networks and other things are freaking the fuck out right now, is because they were the place that gave you an audience as a stand-up comedian. They'd go, here's your TV show. Now you can do theaters because all these people know who you are. But now you have to go do theaters. And then the networks are like, oh, people watch you.
Right.
It's why the presidential candidates are on podcasts. It's why it's all this shit, because it has flipped. And there were people that saw it coming, and they're way smarter than both of us.
Yes.
You know, like Schultz fucking saw that shit coming.
Schultz is very good at this.
And he fucking nailed it.
It's amazing.
And also, there's other people that were just like last podcast on the left. I knew Henry and Ed and Marcus at the Creek in the Cave.
Yeah.
When we used to just drink or whatever, and they were super into scary movies and all that shit. And you genuinely saw them build that podcast out of love, and it became bigger than any TV show they're gonna do.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, I had this idea with Carl Hess, who I go camping with a lot, where we have this idea where we go to every national park and we do like what the hardest thing we can there, and like record it while we're there, just like audio, and then like from the studio pitch it back. We're like, we went to Yosemite, we're gonna do this. We just wanted a podcast about camping in national parks, and then we pitch it to some people, and they're like, yeah, we should film that. I'm like, then it's a TV show.
Yeah.
Then we have a crew. The whole reason we can do this.
But also here's the thing is like I think that's what it is with the internet. Everything changes so fast.
Yeah.
And everything moves so much faster that all these people that were gatekeepers are now like, it's funny, they were the gatekeeper, but then the gate moved in front of them.
Yeah.
And they're going like,
I mean, and we're in this like weird little fucking zone where like, everything changed for us that we're like,
but for the better.
No,
Stand
I know,
up.
but I just mean like if you saw somebody, you know, 5 years ago bring in a fucking camcorder that you had never heard of that was going to film their own set, you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was like. I mean,
it was just like this guy must be whack.
Or
and
being
then,
like, or the idea of like, you're gonna cut up all that stuff and give it away.
You're gonna self promote, and like now, anytime I see somebody setting up a camera, I'm like, they're about to be way bigger than me.
Yeah,
because I'm so lazy, I don't fucking do it.
Well, I also see people with clips and I go like, that's a good clip.
Yeah,
like, they're gonna fucking, and it just how it moves, and you see people where they're like, there are people. It's funny to watch, especially living in New York City, watching the old guard be like, nah, this is how you do it. You go, yeah, well, you guys said Carson was big.
Yes,
Carson. There is no Carson.
Right.
There is no equivalent of Carson anymore.
It is. I've been in LA so much lately that coming here, I'm here for like 2 weeks, just doing a bunch of shows. Like, seeing like how evolved you are compared to like what's going on in LA. Really,
well, LA's
like,
running around with their head cut off.
That's what it feels like.
Because they were lucky because Rogan and them were there.
Right.
So they didn't realize it was happening. They didn't realize it could move and change everything.
Right.
And I think that's what Rogan moving to Austin did. I think it really showed a lot of these LA people like, you had a huge media source there and you didn't realize it.
No.
You didn't realize when he left, there was going to be this vacant
and
hole.
like, yeah, but also like COVID like ruined like the alt scene really because like the difference between New York and LA, I feel like COVID really showed, because when COVID happened here, you guys were like, we're doing shows on roofs and we're starting podcasts. And when COVID happened in LA, we're like, we're going to the national parks.
Yeah, we're gonna go camping. We're gonna go sleep in our backyard.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean, we were doing. I mean, how many shows did you film in like alleyways and fucking rooftops and backyards and shit? There was like park shows. I think New York was just, dude. I remember one time during Black Lives Matter, I was doing a show in the Lower East Side, and the promoter, who was a black dude, he was great. He was like, "Hey, cops show up. You're on that mic. I need you to just start saying no rest till peace." They come up with a slogan.
That's great.
We're gonna get in trouble for doing a comedy show. We won't get in trouble for protesting. And I was like, so I was just waiting to be like, yeah. And then I said to her, "What are you, fucking Black Lives Matter?" Black Lives. It's such a funny pivot. Dude, it's awesome. Thanks for coming by and doing the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Check out everything online that Brooks Wheelan.
Yeah, actually, I have a special coming out Monday.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Watch the special. This will be out. This will be out.
This a special called Alive in Alaska.
Did you do it at Chinook Charlie's?
No, I did a 2-week tour of Alaska, shot it, and then shot it at this place called the Beartooth Theater.
Oh, great.
It was sick.
Dude, that's all, where in Alaska did you go?
I did McCarthy, Juneau, Sitka, Cordova, Soldotna.
I lived in
Talkeetna.
Soldotna.
You lived in Soldotna? That's one of the worst towns.
I worked at Pacific Star Seafood,
Really?
shout out, for a summer.
Soldotna?
My aunt lived in Kenai,
Yeah.
which was right by Soldotna.
That's great fishing.
Great.
Yeah.
We lived in Soldotna. I worked in Kenai.
Okay, cool. And then Fairbanks, and then finish it off at Anchorage. It was
Hell
a
yeah.
cool ass tour.
Yeah, so you did all the way down.
Yeah,
well,
we
you
went
did down and
McCarthy,
then back
down,
up.
up, and then back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it wasn't planned well.
Soldotna's in the Cook Inlet.
Yeah,
down in-
Soldotna was just, that was my least favorite show.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they just...
I just think it was promoted poorly.
Okay.
And that's on me.
Well, I went and looked for a job before I got hired at the cannery.
Yeah.
My aunt lived up there, so I just wanted to live with my aunt.
You worked at a cannery?
Yeah, but I went and applied everywhere else
Okay.
first. I applied at like restaurants. I applied at a landscaping place. I applied at a radio station, and none of them would hire me. And I went down. It was in May, and I went down to Pacific Star Seafood, and this fisherman got me a job there.
Dude, so you were there for a whole summer?
Yeah,
This is a fun place to be.
great. It was great. It was very hard work. Very
Yes.
very hard work. And
But those guys get fucked up.
I was very lucky because I got the job before the college kids came.
Okay.
So they didn't think I was a college kid.
Whoa, that's
They didn't
huge.
know I was a college kid.
That's huge.
They just thought I was a guy living up there with his aunt.
Yeah.
They didn't know I was in between
They
my
thought
freshman
you were
and
like
sophomore
them
year.
hiding out while some shit cooled off.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Which was funny because I did have to go. I had to leave to go to court in Colorado.
Yep.
So that was when they were like, "Oh, he's all right."
That's
This guy's a
the
good
opening
guy.
joke of my specials. Everyone who lives in Alaska was like, I came up here for a week, been here 89 years. Also, I'm wanted for manslaughter.
Yeah, dude.
So that's why I'm
It's wild.
kinda
They
here.
also pay you to move to Alaska.
Really?
Because there's an oil reserve.
Yeah.
So when you become at least that was what it was 20 years ago. But if you move up there and you become a citizen, they send you a check for like fucking $1,700 or something.
I've been there like 3 times and I always dig it, but I've
It's-
never been up there in the winter. So
Me neither. I've never been there
that
in the winter.
sounds dark.
But
literally,
my aunt had a fucking cool house
Yeah.
in Soldotna, like off this path.
Yeah.
And she had like 3 acres, and I would go smoke joints and walk around in the back. The mosquitoes were nightmarish.
Right.
But I found like this fucking 19th century bear trap that was rusted open. It was rusted completely open.
Whoa.
And I tried several different times. I threw a boulder in it to like set it.
that's like the funniest, best stoned in your 20 in the woods find. Like,
Yeah.
no way.
And then I was just on a rock, holding a rock, going. And it bounced off the thing, and I go, oh, dude, one time, and I might have told this story on another podcast, but it was true. I was in the backyard, and what I used to love to do is drink like a 6-pack of Rolling Rock, and then my aunt would go to sleep, and she was like an ex-drug addict, so she didn't want any drugs. But I'd bring weed with me, and I would go smoke a joint on the back patio, and it'd be light out, and it'd be like fucking 11:45 at night, and I was just chilling there, smoking a joint, just having a good time, and then the golden retriever next door starts barking, and I'm like, this dog's going fucking nuts, and I was like, run, run, run. And it was a hill, and I look up the hill, and there's this giant brown bear,
Yeah.
just going like. And I was like, dude, if I watch a bear eat a dog right now, it's gonna change my life. And the fucking dog was like pinned, like the leash was pinned to a thing in the ground. And I was like, my first thought was, do I run over there, pull it off the leash to let it get away from the bear? But I'm not going near a fucking. And the bear was like 75 yards away, so it wasn't like right up on it. This bear growled. The dog was like pinned on its leash, like, fuck you, motherfucker, fuck you. And then the bear went, nah, fuck this. And just ran back up the hill. And I was like, whew. I just went inside after that. I was like, dude, I ain't watching it. I ain't sticking around. But that's one of the coolest places. Alaska, go there.
It was fucking sick. So right before the special, I went down to Seward, right before we taped like the actual special, and I went on a jog through the Kenai Fjords National Park.
Hell yeah. Which is one of the most beautiful drives ever in the world.
Yes, no, it's so cool. But I went on like this really long, like 10-mile run, like deep in the woods, and I realized I didn't have fucking bear spray. And I'm like, this is where the grizzlies live.
Yeah.
Like they live like down on the fucking coast. And I was like, I scared myself really bad. You know what I mean? Because I was like 5 miles in, and I like took my headphones out. And I'm like, all right, we're fine. Like this is how I die.
What am I doing?
Yeah, I was like, you're trying too hard, bud.
Because that would be a thing where they go, did you hear Brooks Wheelan got ate by a bear? And I'd go,
Yeah.
I believe it.
I know. I just want when I die, people not to be like, that makes sense. For
Saw that
sure.
coming.
For
I
sure.
kinda saw that coming.
And I was like, so then I just had to kind of like jog back, but like listening, because I'm like,
Yeah.
this is where they live. I'm like doing the dumbest thing I can right now.
There was a road where I lived called Funny River Road.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was called. If you live in Alaska, you know that. But they were like 65% chance to get attacked by a bear walking down that road, and you're in the summer, and you're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And then in the newspaper, story of a guy got attacked by a bear, killed it. When you kill a bear, they take the body, but they cut off the paw and they give it to you. So the guy was holding the paw of the bear. He had a fucking massive wound on him, and he was like bandaged up, but he was holding the paw, and you're like, fucking. So the fact that he just ran in the woods is nuts.
No, it was dumb, and I realized it.
I probably could have got caught looking back at that bear trap, like when I was just high, being like, doo-doo, throwing fucking rocks and shit.
I mean, also, I camped at this place in Montana, and then the next weekend, a woman was eaten out of her tent by a bear in that campsite. And I was like back there on my way back through Glacier, and I was like, that's so terrible. And I hate when people are like, she had gum in her pocket. That's what you get. I'm like, I don't think you deserve to get eaten by a bear because you had gum.
Oh, she ate Red Robin yesterday.
Yeah,
and
you just don't
knows.
do that.
That seasoning attracts
She
them.
got eaten by a bear.
That's got to be the worst way to go.
Yes.
That has to be the worst way to go, because what you're doing is, at the moment of your death, you're realizing that nature doesn't care.
Oh, gosh.
That unrelenting coldness to where you're like, you're just going to kill me. And the bear's like, yeah.
Dude, I just watched Grizzly Man recently.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like Timothy Treadwell's like,
Quincy.
yeah, he's like, they're so magical. And then Werner Herzog's like, I see nothing in their eyes.
Yeah,
this
dude.
cold stare.
Yeah, the bears do nothing. We were in Ohio we were visiting my cousin to go watch her kids play football, and the hotel we were staying at was in a parking lot with a place called Werner's Smokehouse.
Okay.
So every time Katie and I left the hotel, we went, Werner Herzog's Smokehouse. Yes, I do documentaries, but what I love more is smoked beef. So every time we'd go by Werner, we'd go to the hotel about Werner Herzog's Smokehouse.
Seth Meyers was telling me he had Werner Herzog on and tried to explain to him what Documentary Now was, which is Seth's show. And they parodied a Werner Herzog one. He's like, yeah, we did this one on, I forget which one they did it on. And he like pitched it to Werner Herzog. He goes, there was nothing funny about that.
That's so
like,
funny.
this was like absolutely not going to give this to you.
Oh, then never mind. Fuck
Yeah.
face. Then I guess we're not going to have fun here today.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I can't see him having fun, but I am very interested in him. Dan, thank you for having me on the gosh dang pod. You're the man.
Check out Live in Alaska
Yeah.
on YouTube right now.
Yes.
Brooks Wheelan's the best.
Heck yeah.